Hello and welcome to another VOD review. Today we're going to be looking at FlyQuest Academy versus TSM Academy. This game has been played in 11.2. It was last week in week 3. So I'll quickly go over what went down with this game, and I'll do some VOD review of these. So FlyQuest has a very pretty standard team fighting comp as well. So they have Renekton, Olaf, Victor, Zyra, Khan. And TSM also has like a bit of disengage and an engage and a team fight oriented comp, coming with Gangplank, Udyr, Orianna, Kai'Sa, and Rel. So both these teams really just wants to fight. Just really wants to fight for like a team fight. So whoever gets like a bot priority should really start stacking up the dragon stacks, and meanwhile, like I think FlyQuest has an edge on the top side because they do have this Renekton, but it really depends on how Haunter plays this lane and how much he can punish this Renekton with his Gangplank. So we'll dig into what happens into this game and just skip a bit. So standard fan, nothing's happening at level 1. Both junglers are starting on blue buff and with no leash, so Udyr is going to start his Q, Olaf is going to start his Q as well, just power farm through what's happening, and bit of a trade at the bot side of the map. Ideally, like, you don't really want to go for this trade for TSM because you know your jungler started bot, so he's not going to be coming through bot side anytime soon, whereas like FlyQuest, like you take those, and like sure, Xayah used her potion, but if you go for more of these aggressive trade, it's going to be better for FlyQuest because their jungler is pathing down to bot side. So both junglers just does like a full standard clear. TSM actually pushes in, and yeah, and the wave, not much is happening on neither side of the map. After the but Barbib does end up taking double Scuttle Crab because of the priority lanes that all 3 lanes that TSM has right now. So very good read by Barbib to take the double Scuttle Crab and punishing this Olaf's not having any priority lane. So yeah, but I would have loved to see like Barbib actually try and find and go for like these 2 extra camps, because like right now, like I said, like his pathing is going to be away from his bot side, and his bot has been playing really well in terms of like priority because they do have like a potion advantage, and like sure, Rel doesn't have any potion, but they can like if Barbib can take these 2 camps then reset, his natural pathing would be from top to bot, and by the time he does that, the dragon should be up, and by the time he recalls, Orianna wants to base with TP, and there's going to be another contest in terms of like priority at the mid lane, and it gives some sort of like pressure down at the bottom. And Gangplank is playing really well, and you don't really want to play around Gangplank lane. And like I said, like both these teams are very team fight heavy comp, so like they do want whoever has the priority wants to stack up the dragon stacks. So we'll just see like what happens from here now. So both junglers does their Gromp and go to the opposite side of their respective lane. So FlyQuest this time actually has priority on the bottom side, and Fizzy goes for another like a trade, but like I said before, like the junglers are pathing TSM's jungler is pathing away from his bottom lane, so like I'm not necessarily sure about this kind of trade because like his jungler is on the other side of the map, and NXI smartly enough, like he comes to cover for his bot lane, and then afterwards he's gonna start hitting the dragon. So like very good job by FlyQuest bot lane, but then again, like TSM's bot lane going for these unnecessary aggressive trade really cost them like a dragon, and like Barbib could have changed up his pathing so that he can pressure bot, and because like that trade itself is not bad, it's just his jungler's on the opposite side of the map, so like maybe there needs to be a bit more better communication within TSM, and that way they can, if Fizzy does want to go for that aggressive trade, he can bring Barbib if he goes for like a better pathing from his jungler. So here comes yeah, not once again, like not much is happening. Dragon is down, so next objective will be at the Herald at 8-minute mark. But like I said, like Haunts is playing really well this lane, shoving in this Renekton and being miles ahead in terms of CS. So like this Herald fight, we definitely need to watch out. Watch for what kind of item Renekton does buy, but Renekton is just strong by himself, and it's going to be difficult for TSM to actually like win this fight unless they have every single ultimate that is available for them. So Kumo actually uses his ultimate, Honsa uses his trade their ultimate, so that's well worth trade because like I said, at 8 minutes there's going to be like a Herald fight, and it really depends on like the priority of the lane, and Renekton doesn't have teleport, and same with Gangplank. So if TSM knows this is happening, they can like swap the lane and go for like an aggressive Herald play and go for like a team fight there. But other than that, I didn't really touch on was like Babip did the previous pink ward on TSM's jungle, I mean FlyQuest jungle, that Babip is taking advantage of, and he's taking both the Gromp and blue buff onto FlyQuest jungle. So like Babip is miles ahead in terms of like CS, and he's going to be he's going to be ahead in terms of experience as well. So like Babip should definitely be feeling really comfortable right now, and he should be looking to make more aggressive play around like an objective, for example like Herald, because he is ahead and he is strong and ahead of a level. So yeah, I think Babip should have like recalled after he taking the blue, because then he can start going bot to top and meet his bot lane at the Herald, because Renekton doesn't have his ultimate. But what ends up happening is like bot lane goes for another aggressive trade, and Cody-san ends up dying for it. It was very unlucky that he didn't get that extra auto attack off, but regardless of what's happening, like they're not playing like the team game very well, and the lane, especially like the bot lane, they're not playing with their jungler. That's the most important thing. And the thing is, like Babip, the blue buff was up, Babip is basing now, so Babip will definitely have like a lot of gold, and he's definitely like he has his Merc Treads and Barmy Cinder, so he is definitely like very strong in terms of like combat stat. But it's just Renekton's ultimate is coming back up at the Herald fight at 9 minutes, so this fight is definitely going to be in favor of FlyQuest, in my opinion, and we'll just see what actually happens at the Herald fight, because I don't really see like Rail's not in the level 6, Gangplank doesn't have his ult, so like Udyr doesn't have his ult either. Well, it's not his ultimate, so like this is a very scary moment for TSM, and they really need to hold this ground. And the really important thing about Gangplank is like he's not strong in this fight, because it's not because he's weak. Gangplank alone himself is strong, but it's just the cooldown of his barrel gets lower with cooldown ability haste and level with so that's why Gangplank wants to fight at around level 13, because that's when he gets to max his E, and he can have multiple barrels controlling his own. But right now there's not much, the barrel cooldown is just way too long for him to like zone off like a specific point that's coming from like a choke point per se. So TSM's going in, Rail is level 5 as well, but they just get immediately destroyed because of the composition that FlyQuest has. So once again, like I said before, like this was a bad fight to take already for TSM, and Haunter was playing really well in his lane, so like you should have just let Gangplank alone and just play through the bot side and just take the dragon and have some like change up the jungle pathing because of your bot lane and playing aggressively. So yeah, we'll just see the replay. Rakan gets the knock up. Yeah, Rail gets, Udyr just gets destroyed, then it's followed up with Rail. She just dies as well. So yeah, it's just a lost fight at the, even before the whole thing started. And Dragon number 2 going over to FlyQuest. So like don't really like the lane assignment coming out of TSM, but then again, like because of they lost the Herald, because they lost 2 members, they just don't have the manpower to do anything as well. And the mid lane, we're starting to see bit of a priority coming out from Triple's Victor, and Sword is just losing out this matchup like slowly. So really, like TSM doesn't really like the shining grace of TSM right now is Haunce's Gangplank. They just need to wait for Gangplank's level 13. So like even next dragon will be difficult to contest. So maybe giving up the 3rd dragon and going for more gold, more experience, and taking top side of the map might be better for TSM. Yep, get the Herald charge at mid. That's really good by FlyQuest. If they can get the another Herald coming out from them, they will definitely be able to take their mid tower and pressure even more. They'll have even more priority at mid. Yep. Despite that, like Babip is definitely ahead, but all his laners like the counterpart of their opponent are much more stronger than what Udyr can do. And Udyr is like, you know, a very simple champ, and he's not something that can like 1v9. So it's going to be very interesting to see what TSM opt to do, because they don't actually have that much option. So they need to be a lot more reactionary. And the thing is, like, Babip once again on the Haunter side, playing around like Gangplank lane, and like Kai'Sa's getting denied CS, and I think if Tomo could have like held on to that and denied even more CS, it would have been much more beneficiary to FlyQuest. Yep, and here comes the dragon fight that I was talking about. So let's see what both these teams are doing. So TSM is very spread out thin. Gangplank is not level 13. He does have like quite a bit of ability haste, but it's just like Gangplank is just so far away, and he's not in a position that it's favorable to him. So if TSM can actually get a steal on this dragon, that would be like amazing for them. And the Scuttle Crab goes over to FlyQuest, so this movement speed buff is going to be gigantic for Rakan, Olaf, and Renekton. So let's see what actually happens. And okay, TSM actually gets it, and here comes the team fight. Very nice Gangplank ult, and very nice Gangplank chain. And Kai'Sa gets killed, so it's a 2 for 2, but the most important thing is the Dragon Soul. And I mean, getting that dragon, and TSM does end up taking it, and there was a very good fight coming from Hauncer, and gotta give credit to like his veteran status and his team fight prowess. So very nicely done, and it was kind of difficult for like FlyQuest to directly go on top of them. Maybe they should have sent like Rakan around, because like this, realistically, like this engage was never gonna happen from Rakan. So that was like a very odd engage. Like if TSM managed to like flank and get TSM off from like the dragon, then it would have been much more. There would have been much more better position than they could have. Bit of a pause coming here. Just going forward. Yeah, so now we're gonna start seeing like mid game. Hauncer actually has like side lane priority as a Gangplank, so that's a very good sign for TSM. But Sword, he's catching up on his side lane, and I believe FlyQuest is going for they're going for Rift Herald. Okay, they do end up taking Rift Herald, so the mid tower is okay. Oh no, he's gonna take the eye. He does not take the eye. Okay. Yeah, so as you see, like Sword's on very reactionary, like because like he doesn't have a tower on the side. Whereas Triple, he has all free roam to do whatever he wants on the side, then push. He does need to watch out for like Udyr and Gangplank ults, so that's something like TSM could have done if Triple is pushing aggressively on the side. But FlyQuest has a lot of tempo in terms of like what they can do on this in the mid lane, because Victor is moving a lot more freely. So Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. This wave will most likely be here, so it'll be pushing in very slowly. And Rakan ults, and Cody-san is pretty much out of the fight. And here comes the Rel. Cody-san goes in, kills the Rakan, kills the Xayah as well, and the TSM comeback is, and Victor flashes forward. Not sure about that one, because now he doesn't. Oh, here comes like the backup, and I actually didn't see who's getting killed. So like, yeah, and this is like the power of the Bruiser in the current meta with like Gore Drinker and like those kind of things. So like, if we just see the replay of it, like the initial fight was like fine, and this was like just finished, and like Xayah does get exploded, but on the other side, like Sword get destroyed as well. Maybe he could have TP'd better. No, he's TPing fine, but he's just, yeah, he just got jumped on by Renekton and Olaf, and he just got destroyed. And like, if Cody-san like saved his ultimate better, maybe he could have committed like more into it, because like they would have had like number advantage. But regardless, the Dragon goes towards the FlyQuest. So what TSM could have done, like they should have been at the Dragon like a lot more earlier. And like, if we do go back, because it's not what happens at the Dragon, it's like more important, so like what happens before the Dragon. And the only reason why FlyQuest can do this is like both Gangplank and Orianna was shown on the side. So like, as soon as like this happened, like Orianna needed to teleport and make sure they hold this ground for Gangplank, because once Gangplank bases, he's gonna have let's see what item he buys, but like he bought like another BF sword. So if both like Orianna and Gangplank needed to TP in early so they can set up like a choke point for Gangplank Barrel. He is level 14 with lots and lots of ability haste, and and Orianna with like a some sort of like ball play and zone control coming out of her balls. So like, that's something that TSM could have done, but yeah, I guess triple pushing side early and coming to Dragon was really like the big factor of like what happened here. And yeah, so here, yeah, the result of the fight, yes, it goes over to FlyQuest, but the Dragon is like the most important one. So let's just fast forward once again. Not much is happening. The Herald didn't get picked up, so it was a bit difficult. It was more difficult than what FlyQuest expected, because if they did have the Herald, they would have put down Herald and take the mid tower, then start rotating. But yeah, but that's just a mistake. Yep, and TSM and FlyQuest, they're just getting vision around here. So yeah, TSM is just pushing forward. They're playing really well with the Gangplank, and Gangplank is like super strong. So like, next Dragon fight is going to be one very important pivotal point of the game, and they really need to be here before the Dragon spawns, and they need to hold that vision with Gangplank Barrels and Orianna Ball. And then like Rel and Udyr can look for an engage. Then Kai'Sa and Gangplank ult and Orianna can like just destroy someone in a team fight. So yeah, so FlyQuest, like once again, like Sword is on the side lane. Like I would have much prefer if they can, if both Hornset and the Sword starts grouping with their core and hold this vision around, because like right now, as soon as they get shown, FlyQuest they're not afraid of going in, and like, yes, mid priority is important. That's why you need to stand here, and you need like number advantage. Like, getting this side wave and denying this wave is like completely useless, whereas like taking control of this is more important. Like, whatever's the CS right now is not important. Yep, and TSM's trying to break through the line. I believe there was a rail engage. Yeah, and that means no rail ult, and Gangplank still does have his ult, but TSM's just going around, and the Dragon Soul is already taken, and all FlyQuest needs to do is just run away. And like Gangplank ult does come, but like there's just so much disengage and so much dashes coming from FlyQuest, so it's going to be very, very difficult for TSM to do anything. And yeah, like that flash from Dream was very unnecessary, and yeah, and they can even go for this, you know, this Baron, because like they want TSM to come forward. They know Gangplank ult is down. They know Rail ult is down. So yeah, just need to fight around here for FlyQuest. And Triple gets jumped on. They kill the Rail, and Dream did really good job of protecting Triple, and he even Zhonya'd a lot of, he negated a lot of damage from it. So that's pretty much the game by the looks of it, and the Baron goes away. So what's important thing to take away? I think TSM played really well like early game. Like it's just the problem is like the mid game, and like the ability to judge if they can win the Herald fight. And it really began with like so I'm always gonna question like the jungle pathing, because like if your bot lane is going to play this aggressively, your jungler needs to start pathing through bot, top to bot. So that way, if you do have like aggressive trade, then you're awarded with like a dragon, or like you get rewarded with a good recall timing. Then that way you have much better push priority. Then you have an objective to play around. So like something like that's something TSM can work on definitely early game, but like individually, like they played fine. Like they weren't there wasn't anything like wrong with anything, but it's just like the unnecessary aggressiveness coming from TSM really cost them like the first blood, and like wasting time when Renekton doesn't have his ult. Then they go for a swap, Renekton ult is back up, and Gangplank ult isn't even up. So like this, of course, like this was a bad fight to take, and Gangplank is not strong like until level 13, and until he has like more ability haste that he can start using more barrels in team fights. Was that a real flash? Yeah, it was. But yeah, so that's pretty much the VOD review. So and like and obviously like the mid game, like Sword and Hornster, they need to recognize that they don't have mid prior, so they need to put numbers advantage at mid instead of like pushing sides. They need to group mid and hold this ground, especially in like the just like even like 30-second or like a 40-second before the dragon fight. They need to sack like at least 2 wave. If Triple does go onto side, then they need to like accept that and make sure they don't lose this Dragon Soul. So that's it for the VOD review. So thanks very much. I'll see you guys next time.